This is Informer News, your voice of the people. Timeline is Monday the 11th of March 2013. Welcome along, my friends, to another edition of Informer News. Coming up in this week's broadcast, the meteorite that struck Russia was 1,000 times bigger than first thought. Plus, astrophysicist confirms mini solar system is entering ours. Also, the real reason the UK went to war over the Falkland Islands, and Nibiru's coming. What do we do? A report that could well give us a fighting chance to survive. Okay, into this week's news. This first report originates from http://nizaranews.blogspot.co.uk and was posted on Wednesday, February the 20th, 2013. Titled, "Oops, Russian meteor was 1,000 times bigger than thought. Oh, and NASA's expensive system never saw it coming." It turns out the meteorite that landed in Russia the other week was a bit bigger than the 10 tons first reported, about 1,000 times bigger. When a hunk of rock raced out of the morning skies over Russia on Friday the 15th of February and exploded with nearly 500 kilotons of energy, early size estimates from the Russian Academy of Science that was carried by the Associated Press, Reuters and other news wires pegged it on the smaller size with a weight of about 10 tons. This event was so much bigger than anything we've seen on video, that is. Doesn't surprise me the guess was off by 3 orders of magnitude. Later in the evening, after studying infrasound data from stations around the world, NASA released a new estimate, revising that first guess upwards by 1,000-fold. The meteorite actually weighed closer to 10,000 tons, scientists said, approximately as much as 170 M1 Abraham tanks. My guess is that someone eyeballed the video and made an educated guess, said Margaret Campbell Brown, Associated Professor in the Department of Physics and Astronomy at the University of Western Ontario. This event was so much bigger than anything we've seen on video, that is. Doesn't surprise me the guess was off by 3 orders of magnitude. This following report originates from http://www.disclose.tv. Jim McCanney is breaking this story open for planet Earth. Can you say hero? I can. It's time for our planet to collectively think outside the box. That's where the truth often now is. This material is more relevant than ever. February the 17th, 2013, breaking Nibiru, Planet X news. Mini solar system entering hour, says astrophysicist Jim McCanney, connected with Australian Learmonth Observatory. What the Pentagon US military knows of Planet X. Christopher Rudy, recent report in Australia follows. I spent a lot of time in Western Australia, and my friend who lives at Exmouth called me just a minute ago. He said that the locals in the town are all curious about the increase in people, traffic, aircraft, etc. Travelling to and from the Learmonth Project Wormwood Observatory, which is approximately 30 miles down the road. He estimates the people and goods and traffic has tripled over the last 10 days. Much of this has been via the Exmouth airport. There has been some military brass amongst them. It is a similar situation in the town of Carnarvon. Of course, there is no official acknowledgement of anything out of the ordinary. I have asked him to discreetly sniff around more, and I will keep this group informed. From Mark Hazelwood, website at www.planetxinbound.com. Project Wormwood Learmonth Solar Observatory. Planet X, its entourage being inbound and its potential effects during passage are blatantly being revealed by our own US military, Pentagon studies and actions. If you were one of the heads of the US military, had knowledge of Nibiru Planet X, named from the ancient Sumerians, and what direction it was coming in from, and wanted to study this incoming Planet X, you go down to the southern hemisphere, say in Australia, and start an observatory project there with their government. Now, being US military, you'd want to know everything you could about what you have to defend against. Defending the US is your goal, but you are working with another government. So you might say that the project has to do with planetary defence of these incoming objects instead. In addition, if you were being rather honest about what was being studied, you might name the project Project Wormwood, Planet X's name from the Bible. This may be one of the most obvious revealing government URLs that I've ever seen, bar none. For the full transcript, go to my website, endtimes23.com, where I've posted the link. This following report originates from http://biblicaltimes.wordpress.com. My deep gut has been telling me for some time that there is a federally sponsored internet news blackout going on regarding Planet X, aka Nibiru. Videos come online, then they disappear. Some of my news blogs behave oddly when I try to post about Nibiru. I find ample information on topics in other countries' media outlets. Today cite Italy and South America, but a real sparsity of information in the US. Yet citizen reporters like me keep returning to the Nibiru story over and over again. There is literally something in my own soul compelling me to keep researching this topic in the face of all the ridicule. I can't shake the fact that every biblical prophecy about end times that was given of old is already coming true. And following that logic alone, scriptural passages which describe some of the global astronomy related weather or earth-changing events indicates to me that a future encounter with a Nibiru flyby in our solar system must still be waiting in our future. The big question is when. As for the dead astronomers, if we all keep reporting and researching Nibiru, what do they plan to do? Kill all the citizen journalists everywhere who blog about Nibiru? If citizen journalists whose blogs have strong following, who wrote frequently about Nibiru, begin turning up dead in 2013, then the people of the world will know their governments are collectively killing off the truth reporters, thus indicating that the return of Nibiru is real. What if we had the times and dates wrong? What if the Nibiru flyby is still about 20 years ahead in our future, give or take a few years? How would we know if astronomers are being killed off systematically to silence their warnings? What if we allowed the New World Order, Illuminati cover-up and global news blackout on Nibiru astronomy to lull the world people into a false sense of relief that no rogue planet or brown dwarf would be paying our solar system a 3,600-year return visit? And what if the Holy Spirit continues to move people from all walks of life in every nation on earth to continue to do their own research and reporting on this threatening future event, so that we, the people of planet Earth, can collectively attempt to make plans to survive such a catastrophic close encounter? This next report originates from http://alienobserver.com, titled The Omega File, Falkland Islands War. The Falkland Islands War had more to do with Nazi Antarctica than with Argentina. The Germans from their Antarctic base began to infiltrate into Argentina, Chile, etc., and brought large tracts of land and swept up corporations. They also invested in corporations in Germany and elsewhere, with plans to make a comeback. They used the German treasury, captured treasures from other nations, and counterfeit American currency printed on real US current printing plates, given to the Russians and captured by the Germans. Note, it appears as if the German elite had begun to attempt to accomplish via stealth what they failed to do by force in World War I and II, by infiltrating North and South America and engaging in economic warfare from their extensive underground black budget empire below Antarctica, and also South and North America, with the help of their allies in the CIA and NSA, who are not talking millions of dollars here, but trillions of dollars, which have been siphoned from the US economy via numerous ingenious methods and used to feed the Bavarian-backed underground network which stretches throughout North America and which are inhabited by European, American and Antarctician National Socialists. The wealth that has been siphoned from the American economy could otherwise have been used to prime the economy to new heights of prosperity, and that prosperity could have in turn overflowed into the other nations of the world. Apparently the Nazis realised this, and also realised that the banksters who had backed them during World War II had the real power, ultimately dictated political power, even in a supposedly democratic country where they could buy off political power. The Nazis could not have done what they have done without the help of the traitors within. The same could be said for the Greys also, not to mention the CIA Nazi Grey collaborators, itself existent within various underground bases: New Swabia, Antarctica, Pine Gap, Australia, Alsace-Lorraine Mountains, Germany, Montauk, Long Island, the Denver International Airport, Dulce, New Mexico, Area 51, Nevada, etc., Brampton. For the full transcript, go to my website endtimes23.com where I posted the link. And this final report originates from http://vixesoterica.wordpress.com, titled XX3b, Nibiru is coming, what do we do? Nibiru approaches, that is quite certain. It will pass close to Earth and smash this civilization. What do we do? Best course is within the Earth. The Earth is hollow, as are all the heavenly bodies and fields. There are temperate lush lands way beyond the polar ices through the polar entrance, with an inner sun below, plus oceans almost as extensive as the surface topography, forests, a steady temperature of about 73 degrees Fahrenheit, an idyllic paradise. But it is inhabited, and we would need arms, though the dominant race is friendly. They are giants up to 14 feet high, more advanced than us. It was where the dinosaurs, the Neanderthals, mammoths, etc. escaped to. Underground only extends for 800 miles. The shell of the Earth, the rest is empty air and space in an inverted outer world with a small red sun at the centre. Simplest way within is through the great tubeway entrance near the north geographical pole, which is about 400 miles further on than the marked poles. One tubeway each end of the Earth, plus another entrance somewhere else, I know not where. South Pole entrance too hard, I think. North geographical pole is best in my opinion. Just proceed dead north by gyroscope and keep on going. The entrance is 1,000 miles wide, would be hard to miss if you aim dead north. It is undistinguishable from the surrounding land, sea and ice and lands. You would have to vary from due north by about 500 miles when at the entrance to miss it. Nibiru's arrival is as certain as the sunrise, in fact more so, and with it comes many other terrible horrors. There is some confusion as to whether this object is 4 times the size of Earth or 4 times the size of Jupiter. I think the latter, unless there are 2 objects. Been studying this 10 years, it is very confusing. Its very high mass poses severe gravitational problems for the Earth, as the gravity, magnetic, electric, etc. tides, when it passes close by, will just about tear the Earth in two. We shall experience the horror of watching another and much larger, very ugly planet close in upon us, like in the film When Worlds Collide, back in the 50s or thereabouts. Now visible to the naked eye is a red dot. Oh, it is quite certain. It is travelling at about 3,500 miles per hour. Not heading straight for us, but is merely orbiting the Sun. Its trajectory just happens to pass close to the Earth. It will cross our orbit. It has a long debris-filled tail, which we entered some time back. This is full of boulders and red dust and debris, etc. Masses of it. Plus it has 7 satellite moons. On one moon called Homeworld resides a race of alien bearded giants. They will visit us. They modified our genes, made gold mining slaves of us. It is an iron planet with 2 columns of particles of iron oxide streaming like 2 giant wings from either side of it. As it nears, we shall recognize it. the red monster winged dragon-like scourge of the solar system every 3,600 years. Lemuria, Atlantis, Poseidon and now us. Would it be far amiss to suggest that the Autumn Kuiper belt once, like with the Phaeton asteroid belt, were planets? I suggest Autumn Kuiper. The Earth has a bit of an asteroid belt too, because its original planet Tiamat got struck by Nibiru, creating our Earth, the Moon and asteroid belt. Just like possibilities, I do not know why the outer planets take such extreme elliptical orbits, but they do around some other stars too. The Aryan civilization gets severely hit sometimes. It does hit a planet and smashing it to smithereens, hence the name the Destroyer. It is wormwood of the Christian Bible. There are 3 asteroid belts, one where the Phaeton was between Mars and Jupiter. If I provide you with 2 facts, 1, the 3 asteroid belts, and 2, the fact that this huge planet passes through our solar system with its 7 moons and its long thick tail of debris every 3,600 years. And why does Planet X Nibiru, now bearing down to pass very close to us, not have any of the characteristics of the outer gas giants, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune? The other outer planets of our solar system are all gas giants, not gasless iron balls. I venture to suggest that Nibiru, the outermost planet, was a capture by our Sun from some other star, perhaps Sirius B. Because I understand our Sun's Sol goes around Sirius B on its travels, though it is actually orbits Alcyone in the Pleiades, which I imagine is on a spiral arm of our close stellar cluster. Not every passage of Nibiru is devastating, just one in a few. We happen to be on a devastating orbit this time. Anyway, we're about to have our wings clipped, and that's very serious indeed, as areas, continents, ours, are about to be severely submerged beneath waves and down into the magma deeper. Much of the continents will go down, while much of the ocean floor will come up, a seesaw effect. 2 serial cycles of cataclysmic exist. One is 6,500 years long, the Wobble Lot, and the other is 3,600 years long, Nibiru. They are pretty well coinciding this time. The event we are about to experience this year or into next and continue in some years will be the worst ever future, including to hit man on Earth. The only way we can continue life upon this planet is to take the best specimens of everything down within, and that is what gets done by a few each time Nibiru comes around. Okay my friends, you're all invited to join this channel by subscribing to End Times 23, which is a totally free subscription service. You're also invited to add me as a friend on Facebook and follow me on Twitter. Both the links are under this video my friends. All this week's news links can be found on my website endtimes23.com. The link is under this video. Just click on the link and go to the top left hand corner of the opening page and click on Inform and News links. You will find all this week's news links at the top of the page under this week's title video. Well, that's your lot for this week my friends. I do hope you enjoyed the show. Next week we'll be having an episode of Cosmic News, so stay tuned guys, a lot of good things coming your way. So until then, this is your informer signing off. Friends, I'll see you on the flip side. Bigger than the 10 tons first reported, about 1,000 times bigger. When a hunk of rock raced out of the morning skies over Russia on Friday the 15th of February and exploded with nearly 500 kilotons of energy, early size estimates from the Russian Academy of Science that was carried by the Associated Press, Reuters and other news wires pegged it on the smaller size with a weight of about 10, was 1,000 times bigger than first thought. Plus, astrophysicist confirms mini solar system is entering ours. Also, the real reason the UK went to war over the Falkland Islands and Nibiru's coming. What do we do? A report that could well give us a fighting chance to survive. Okay, into this week's news. This first report originates This is Informer News, your voice of the people. Timeline is Monday the 11th of March 2013. Welcome along, my friends, to another edition of Informer News. Coming up in this week's broadcast, the meteorite that struck Russia from http://nizaranews.blogspot.co.uk and was posted on Wednesday, February the 20th, 2013, titled, "Oops, Russian meteor was 1,000 times bigger than thought. Oh, and NASA's expensive system never saw it coming." It turns out the meteorite that landed in Russia the other week was a bit